It's time for another episode of WKRP Weirdness. In this video, I will cover the episode Venus and the Man from Season 3. It aired on January 31st, 1981. While it is the 12th episode of the season, it is the 58th episode in the whole series. Yes, the number 58. Is it about a certain someone? Well, I don't think directly. However, I will remind you that the character Venus represents Lucifer in the series. Venus, the morning star. The character is played by Tim Reed. He was born on December 19th, very close to the winter solstice. In old Roman times, the winter solstice was on December 25th, the birthday of Sol Invictus. Tim Reed's name is coded also, as I've mentioned before. Tim is for time, and Reed is for the hollow reeds of Pan's pipes, the syringe. So I will give a summary of the episode. A woman approaches Venus to help her son. His name is Arnold, and he is 16 years old. He dropped out of school. So his mother is hoping Venus can talk him into going back to school. At face value, the episode is a social commentary about staying in school and the benefits of getting an education. After Arnold meets various characters in the show, Venus finds a place to talk about education to the young man. They go to the storage room. Now remember, at face value, this story is about the importance of getting an education. But Venus also represents Lucifer. With that in mind, the scene takes on a whole new context. So when you watch these clips, see what other layer of the story you pick up. The first clip is when they enter the storage room.
Where'd you get the $100 bill?
On the street.
Rolling drunk, selling drugs?
No, man, you got me all wrong.
Yeah, you are a member of a gang, though.
No, it's a social club, you know what I mean? A gentleman's club.
Yeah, you're the president of this gentleman's club.
That's right.
That means you're the strongest and the smartest.
Yeah, I guess so.
In that clip, Arnold is referred to as the president of a social club, a gentleman's club. That sounds to me like being a president of a secret society. You know, like the Freemasons, the Black Robe Regiment, Skull and Bones, and so on. Now, under this new context of Venus being Lucifer, this also means that Arnold represents man. Remember, the episode is called Venus and the Man. Well, just shorten it to Venus and Man. In the next clip, we will hear Venus Lucifer tricking man into stealing an education.
You know what's really dumb on? You think they're trying to make you take something.
They are.
Arnold, those teachers don't care about you that much, man. If you're not buying what they're selling, to hell with you. They're just going to promote you right out of there. Look, man, you believe they're trying to make you take something. I'm telling you, they got something that belongs to you. It's yours. It's your right to have what they got. And if they won't give you an education, man, you got to steal it from them.
But Lucifer keeps trying to convince man that he needs an education to survive in a world he rules. So Lucifer continues.
You want to know what I think, man? I think there are only two things anybody cares about in this world. One, survival. Two, conquest.
What about sex?
That's part of survival.
Okay.
And so is an education, man. You've got to have an education to survive. Now, I'm not going to tell you that because you've heard that 100 times before. I won't bore you with that.
Good.
No, I'm not going to bore you with that because a dude like you's not into survival. No, you're into conquest. You conquer out there in the street and you like that.
According to Lucifer, people are there to survive and conquer in this world. This is what Satan wants this world to be about. War and fornication. To live like beasts, fighting for resources. In a sense, he is also describing the war of escalation. In order to conquer and survive, one must continue their education in war, to keep building better weapons to beat the others that are doing the same. First clubs, then swords, then bows, then rifles, and then the next big weapon? Now most people will only view this episode as a social commentary, But we live in a multi-layered reality. Under the new context, watch the next clip. What does it remind you of? After watching the previous clips, you probably already have an idea. Here it is.
Have you conquered math, man, or has math conquered you? Who's the toughest dog in that fight, you or math?
Math.
How come?
How come?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, tell me, what do you think it is?
I don't know.
Well, do you pay attention in class?
No.
Well, what is it, man? I'm asking you, Arnold.
Maybe it's because I'm dumb.
No, you're not.
Yeah, I am. Don't be telling me I'm not dumb. I'm telling you, I'm dumb.
Arnold, you're smart. You're the president of your gang.
It's different.
No, it isn't.
Yes, it is. In school, they got geometry and English and biology. And I just don't understand a thing about it, man. I just don't get any of it.
Well, what about chemistry?
That's the hardest one.
Did they teach you anything about the atom?
The atom, year after year, and I don't know the first thing about it.
I can give you the basics of the atom in 2 minutes. You'll understand it perfectly and remember it for months.
2 minutes? You crazy, you know that?
If I can teach you about the atom in 2 minutes, will you go back to school and finish out the year? How about it, huh? Come on, you're a betting man. How about it, Arnold?
Yeah. Yeah, okay, sure. You got it.
I got your word.
Yeah, you got my word. In 2 minutes.
We got a deal.
Yeah, we got a deal.
All right, sit down.
Okay.
Okay. There are 3 gangs on the street, right?
Yeah, 3 gangs.
And this right here is the territory. Now, here is the neighborhood. Got that?
Yeah.
And right in the middle of this neighborhood is a gang called the New Boys.
Yeah, the New Boys. Good name.
Okay. Out here on the outside of the neighborhood, on the edge of the neighborhood, is another gang. You know, these are real negative dudes, really negative, right?
Right.
Now, they call themselves the elected ones.
All right, the elected.
You got that? Really negative. They don't like nothing, see?
Right.
Now, they all the time out here circling around the neighborhood, just circling, you know? Checking out the New Boys. Now, the New Boys see this, and they get, they figure there's something wrong here, so they make a deal with another gang. A gang of very happy-go-lucky guys. They call themselves the Pros. The Pros. Now, the Pros are very positive cats. You see, they got all the good-looking women, right?
Yeah.
Right. See, now the Pros and the elected ones, interesting thing, they hate each other. So much so that they keep the same number of members in the gang, just in case, you dig?
Right.
So if I got 10 elected ones, how many Pros do I have?
10.
All right. Now, how many gangs do I have?
3.
Name them.
The New Boys, the elected ones, and the Pros.
All right. Who's here?
The elected ones?
All right. Now, what are they, negative?
Yeah, negative.
All right. Now, who's positive?
The Pros, and you're running out of time.
All right. Now, you see right here, the Pros and the New Boys, they call their hangout the nucleus. Yeah. Now, see, that's a real tough word. It's Latin. But I kind of think it's Swahili, and it means center.
Yeah? What is it?
It's nucleus. Say it.
Nucleus. Is that really African?
Say it.
Nucleus.
You got it?
Yeah.
All right. Give you another Swahili word. It's tron. Yeah, it means dude.
Yeah, Tron, dude.
All these gangs like that name so well that they all decide to use it. For instance, the Pros right here in the middle start calling themselves the Protons. And the New Boys, well, they start calling themselves the Neutrons. And out here on the edge here, the elected ones, they start calling themselves the
The electrons, the protons, and the neutrons.
Yeah. And all this right here, this is the neighborhood. This is block after block of nothing. You understand block after block of nothing, don't you?
Yeah, I know all about that. And your time is up, Professor DJ.
Good. I was finished anyway. Now you go on back to school, man.
School? Man, all I know about is a bunch of damn gangs that live in a round neighborhood.
Arnold, that's the atom. That's it, man. That's it. What's this right here? Huh?
Protons and neutrons.
All right, and they call this the what?
Nucleus.
All right, what are these guys up here?
Electrons.
Are they negative or positive?
Negative.
And how do they move?
Round and round.
And if I got 2 of them, how many protons do I have?
2.
Now, protons negative or positive?
Positive.
All right, and what's all this right here?
Oh, that's the neighborhood.
Which is?
Nothing.
You got it, man. You get an A. You know this stuff backwards and forwards.
I do?
Yeah.
Yeah, I do. Yeah, well, what good is it gonna do me? I mean, I ain't never seen an atom. I can't touch it.
Arnold, you've got to learn to live beyond your fingertips, man. I mean, you've got to start believing in things you can't see.
I see what I see.
Is Africa a place?
Yeah.
You ever been there?
No?
Is it still there?
Yeah.
This thing here, man, this thing you call your body, that's what atoms are when they get together in a certain way. That's what everything is. It's what we all are. And you know that 95% of the people in this country don't know what you know about it, and you conquered it in 2 minutes. Now, how does that make you feel?
I guess kind of good.
That's the joy of conquest, the joy of learning. And that's why you should go back to school.
You know, man, you should teach school.
Yeah, well,
You did, didn't you?
No, that's it.
Are you sure?
Yeah, I'm sure. I tell you what, I did lie about one thing. Those words being Swahili. No, black kids seem to learn faster when they think it's about their own culture. Just a little white lie, okay?
Okay.
So you're gonna finish out the year?
You won, man.
No, Arnold, you won.
I don't know about you, but when I watched this scene again with new eyes, I realized I had just watched a retelling of the part of the Book of Enoch, when the fallen angels taught man about science, math, weapons, cosmetics, astrology, and so on. Basically, WKRP confirms the Book of Enoch. If you have not read this book, I recommend it. So here we have Lucifer teaching man about the atom. Why would he do that? Well, Satan has long-term plans, doesn't he? The fallen ones aren't teaching us this stuff out of the kindness of their hearts. Also note that he said he would teach them the atom in 2 minutes. For starters, that's 60 seconds plus 60 seconds for 66. Then there is also the phrase 2 minutes to midnight. This refers to the countdown until nuclear annihilation, I believe. Also, an hour is 60 minutes. So subtract 2 minutes from 60 and we have 58. So are we at the time 11:58 right now? Is that the reason for the number 58 surrounding a certain American Idol? Another thing to note is what was in the movie Dark City, when the evil beings that ruled the city from the underground would reset the city at midnight. So what they are saying is that the world will reset at midnight, getting rid of the old and bringing in the new. How close do you think we are to midnight? At face value, the WKRP episode ends on a good note. Arnold goes back to school. So I am not saying that education is a bad thing. But what are we learning? Are we learning what Jesus would want us to know, or are we learning what Satan would want us to know? Has the population of this world been brainwashed for generations, believing what the devil teaches us about this world, not the Lord? Alright, time for the next clip. After Arnold leaves, Venus realizes there was someone else listening, Dr. Johnny Fever. Remember, each of these characters in WKRP represents something. I will be discussing Dr. Johnny Fever in another video, but his name partly gives it away, doesn't it? Here's the clip.
That atom stuff is terrific, man. I never understood it before, you know?
Why didn't you tell me you were back there?
Well, I tried, but I was asleep. How long did you teach, man?
3 years, but I couldn't cut it, so I quit.
You never told me about that.
It's not the kind of thing I'm proud of.
Oh, come on. But if you got some time, I'm wide awake. Let me buy you a drink, all right?
You got it.
All right. Can you teach me about magnets?
So, Dr. Johnny Fever decides to ask Venus Lucifer about magnets. Interesting. So is there an association between electromagnetism and virus symptoms? I've heard it mentioned in the past, but I have not followed up on it. Now recently I have been discussing graphene and nanotech. So there is a scene from this episode of Venus and the Man I thought I would show. Before Venus and Arnold go into the storage room, they meet Herb Tarlick. Remember, I showed in a previous video where Herb was depicted as Abraham Lincoln and also Quetzalcoatl.
Here's $100. Won't you go out and buy yourself a new jacket? That's how life's running me over.
Don't you give that money to your mother?
I tried. I can't. She won't take it.
Hi, brothers. Cowabunga, Uncle Bob! Here's that $100 bill I lost yesterday. I thought it was gone. I looked all over the place for it. This is strange. Life itself is strange. Donation.
Let's go on.
So as Venus is talking to Arnold, Herb Tarlick walks through the door. He picks up the $100 bill as he's holding the graphite graphene pencil. Notice behind them there is a gold record. Once again, the black graphene associated with gold. The gold record is a spiral, a portal. It is also a frequency reference as well as a nod to the golden age of Lucifer, who is standing right by it. Venus, Lucifer. And let's not forget the $100 bill with Ben Franklin, the man who we're told, when we are young, discovered electricity. So Herb holds the electricity and the graphene in his hand, the electric kingdom. Well, that's it for this video. I hope it helps. The days are moving faster, it seems, or am I just getting older? In any case, stay blessed with Jesus.